Good morning. I'm Krista, and welcome to Diamond Cornerstone. Yeah, it's a whole new perspective, and yeah, I believe that the only purpose of being part of society is to add value. My blessing is obviously the diamond. It's a mental model. It's a way of thinking, and it basically adds. It can add value to society, to business, to our vision, to our environment, to our social milieu. And yeah, it's been 21 years in the making. So it's pretty hectic, and it's quite a big part of my life. And I've actually applied it to numerous different scenarios through my career choice. I'm a curriculum writer. So basically I design textbooks and then try to get the perfect dovetail between content and application. Now, with that comes a lot of theory because we run according to different taxonomies and aspects. But besides the curriculum, because of the diamond being a whole new way of seeing things, I've actually written the books for the diamond, and the only way to add value to society is through marketing. Now, a friend of mine, he's actually in marketing, and he says everything's a marketing trick. And often after the purchase, people find out if they really need it or not. And but the beautiful thing that I found with the diamond as a model is as soon as you've seen it, it actually clicks into your unconscious, subconscious mind, and you actually start doing the process flow. You define tasks, and then from there you get yourself a plan, which is your mental bridge. Then you'll get the right resources and human resources. If you need a team to move something, then you can get the team to actually believe in the vision, and from there you actually go and you do it. And afterwards you'll assess. Now, assessment, from an education perspective, a lot of emphasis is placed on the assessment. I disagree with this because I just see it as part of life. When you get home tonight, your spouse slash partner slash people you're staying with will ask, how was your day? And that's an assessment. Good, bad, ugly, could have done this better, this went okay. And then from there you'll reflect, what could you have improved? I could have been nicer, I could have been a little bit more patient, I could have been more, I could have dealt with all the points a little bit better. And from there you'll learn lessons, and this will obviously cut your character, and you'll develop nice things like discipline and loyalty and perseverance and collaboration and a bunch of soft skills that actually can't be taught. And obviously, because they can't be taught, you have to be aware of. It's like me, when I get a little bit frustrated with the kids or something, then I raise my voice. And my wife says to me, hey, you can't build relationship if you're always angry, if you're always yelling, you've got to meet the kid on his level. And likewise, when you're working with colleagues and stuff, you've got to meet each other on each other's levels and show the respect, because it is actually another diamond that you're working with. It's precious. Humans and humanity is precious. And that's the collective as well. I'm currently watching a lot of rugby. And if you listen to the coaches afterwards, they say, no, we've got to respect the next team. Whether it's a good team, a bad team, a strong team, a weak team, whatever, we've got to respect and honor that game as per the game that we will be playing. And if we're not preparing ourselves to the best of our ability for that game to provide the best performance, then you're dishonoring or disrespecting the other team, which is a nice way to see it. So it's about honor and respect and being true to yourself and your own ethic and your own beliefs, your own values. Okay, but otherwise, so this is a marketing trick. I have to let the world know I have books to sell and that there is a new model. So in 2005, I wrote the kids book, Diamond Kids, and I had a business partner at the time who had colleagues and friends. So we translated the Diamond Kids into Swazi and Zulu. It was fun to write. It's actually just a beautiful story of for kids and how to make their holiday productive. So they want to go to the zoo, and so they go through the process of how to make lemonade, and then there's some problem solving, and then they make scones and they burn half of them, and it's fun. But it teaches the process of the task is, or the big vision is the zoo, but to get there we've got to go through little ones, little process cycles. We've got to go through making lemonade, planning the lemonade, getting the resources for the lemonade, and then doing the lemonade, and then selling the lemonade. Now that's all, each of those is a process cycle on its own. But the beautiful thing is then there's the assessment, and the first lemonade was too sweet, and then it was too sour, and so they reflect and they learn lessons, and there's a little bit of, it's siblings, so there's a little bit of friction as well, and it's working with people outside of the family unit. But that's the Diamond Kids. And if our kids, if we're taught process thinking from like age 8, we live in an incredibly instant society at the moment, where we don't need process, we just need instant supper, instant transport. Yeah, people say I'm a Gen Xer. Yeah, we didn't grow up with instant. If you wanted to play on a Saturday morning, you found a friend or just got on your bike and went there. And we've lost some of this, but it doesn't mean we can't do it again. Get out into nature, go for a hike, go for a walk, ride your bike, go for a run, get healthy. Yeah, the other rollover side effects of getting healthy, of just getting out, is getting healthy, building relationships, things that are real, not on a screen. Okay, so that's Diamond Kids. Okay, it's a great read. Personally, I'm of the belief that every kid should be in process from age 8. Why? Because they're athletes. They're learning the rules of society, of the milieu, of the culture, of the food we eat, the wine we drink, and why we do it this way and that way. And with culture, why do we wear these clothes? Why do we remember these traditions? We are a people. Note, it's all about humanity. It's not so much about ideology. An ideology is just an idea. And ideas come and go. But being human, that's essence, heart center. Okay, so the kids' book is Diamond Kids. Then there's Diamond Theory 101. This was the original theory. This is the original grey diamond. You'll actually notice through reading the books the different levels of development for the diamond for myself. So the grey diamond is a 44-page crash and burn, just going through what the diamond is. Okay, and then from there I took it to Diamond Theory 201, which is more professionally based, but it's the same book, just more based for a professional in a business environment, where you actually have to balance a business plan, so to say. So you've got to balance the vision of the company, the finances of the company, the product and the infrastructure, and then the HR, which is the social milieu. Makes life fun, but that's what a business is. It's exactly the same thing. But okay, so that's 201. You'll note my PhD. I have published it. What we did was we actually chose what we call previously disadvantaged community. Okay, it's a rural community in the middle of nowhere. Now, why I chose Campbell specifically was there's no external help coming from anywhere. The closest infrastructure town is about 30 kilometers away. It's high heat. It's semi-desert, so it's high heat in summer. It's very cold in the winter. Everything's stacked against you. And from there, we actually looked at what is required for a town to be developed. Now, to establish a town, and you can look at all the history from London to New York to Sydney to Copenhagen to, I don't know, pick the city. You'll always find Maslow 1. So there's going to have to be a food production system, aka agriculture. Then there's going to have to be infrastructure. which is not so much just housing, but it's also the shops, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. You'll need movement of resources. So basically it's a distribution center for the food immediately. But it also is a place where resources can come in from outside and be sold inside the community. So there's infrastructure, so that's construction sector. Then there's the health and wellness of the people, so we have to put in a certain amount of ancillary health workers. And then I want to get to cash cow. But there's always a cash cow, which is what are we exporting to get money into the town? Now, certain towns have actually developed around mining. Kimberley, Johannesburg, there's a place called Lime Acres. And it's literally, the whole town just develops around one industry. There was a city built in South America where it was just engineers and their families living because they were building a dam. Phenomenal, actually. But we can build cities if the people have purpose, aka the idea of a vision again. So you've got to establish an industry in the town that's going to bring money in from outside. An export commodity that brings money in from outside. It sounds like common sense, but now the trick is you actually have to develop all the sectors at the same time. You've got to develop your agriculture with your infrastructure, with your wholesale and retail, with your health, with your cash cow. So all 5 sectors are moving together, of which, now and this is a big flaw in let's say, undeveloped areas, is we don't have a worldview for the people. So there is no vision, which makes it hard. But the other catch is you've got, and this is where I went to state departments and I say, how's it? I need cash for training. I need to develop the material. I need to organize the facilitators. I need to work out the assessments correctly. I need assessors. Training in its essence is big money. You've got to pay people for adding value to the project. And then they say, no, but it's no point training these people, there's no infrastructure. So then you go and you ask the other state departments, they say Department of Agriculture, for money for agricultural developments. And they say, who owns the land? And it's community based. And they're like, no. But who's trained? So we're missing skill on the one side, but we're missing infrastructure on the other. And it's the chicken and the egg scenario, which comes first. So yeah, this is where I went and I bashed my head against for 7.5 years of my life, talking to state departments and trying to balance this development. But back at the ranch, a state bureaucrat, he's not sitting there for vision, he's sitting there because this is his job. And unfortunately, he doesn't know how to work with, let's say, the Department of Agriculture doesn't know how to work with local economic development, doesn't work with Department of Labor, who does the training. And that synergy between the state departments is difficult, because then they all say, but we can't put all our money just into one community. We've got to distribute it evenly across the province. And if you actually look at the surface area of the province, the towns are a minimum of 30 kilometers apart. So it makes life really challenging. But bottom line is, garrison towns have risen and mining towns have boomed. So actually, if we have a vision for development, and I'm not going to say sustainable development, sustain anything is easy, you just keep a basic trickle of financial aid, that's sustainable. For progressive development, improvement, we need something much bigger, a much bigger vision and a much bigger buy-in. All right, so that's the PhD, was me trying to get a pilot project for, well, we've got over 3,000 of these previously disadvantaged communities, shacks. It's literally a shack town. I think I saw it. It's Central Park, 1932, to put it in basics. But you need a serious amount of investment on the education side, and not academic jobs, not lawyers and accountants. We need hardcore bricklayers, plumbers, farmers, ancillary health workers, educators, people who are in the trenches actually digging and building. Builders. Okay? Now, this is actually always funny because I'm a builder, and if you look at Becker, my surname, it actually means baker, but it's not so much just the baker of bread, but it's also a baker of bricks. So maybe I'm just living up to my calling. Okay, and then last but not least on the book list is the diamond perspective. And this is what happened with the past couple of years is me noticing that the systems, and this might have been actually the root cause for the failure of my project, is that we are serving politics, economics, physical, and social, as opposed to, let's say, a vision and point of exchange, a point of context, and a point of evolution. And that's where the A-Spire actually started and took root, was the upgrade from the grey diamond to red. And that was basically my last couple of years. I've just completed diamond facets and fractals, diamond A-Spire, facets and fractals, because now I'm looking at the diamond from different perspectives, because all of us see the world from a different perspective, and that has to be honored. And you actually see it in a lot of the motivational speakers. Someone like Tony Robbins is coming in from the top, and Robert Edward Grant is coming in from the bottom, and Zach Bush is coming in from his medical perspective, and so we're all actually approaching the same A-Spire from a different facet or fractal of humanity. But guess what? It's still just the A-Spire of bringing people into spirit. And if we are of one spirit, we are inspired in spirit. And that's this has been a really long talk. But yeah, these are my basic books. There's the Diamond Theory 101, Diamond Theory 201, the kids book, and yeah, if we're thinking in then PhD and then diamond perspective. Get a book. They're all running on the diamond. Transform how we think, and from there we can actually build state, build humanity, build a whole new perspective, a new arc, a new trajectory for humanity, and get ourselves back into balance between our governance systems, our energies and exchanges, our stewardship of the environment, and our social milieu as well, all based on a center point of, let's say, family and a heart center. And I think even Christ said, renew your heart. Invite Christ into your heart, aka bring love into your heart. And as soon as your heart is in place, then the mind will follow. What the heart is full of, the mouth flows over. Oh, but other many blessings for the day. Set your diamond, make it a cornerstone, and let's aspire, let's be in spirit.